We are live. We are live. We are live. There's a reason why we specifically wanted to do a live today. Be a quick one, as the vlogs usually are, 15, 20 minutes. I want to do it live because I wanted to show you guys what's going to be happening on this channel a lot more. What's going to be happening going forward, and we're going to be doing a lot more live stuff. We're going to be doing a lot more on here, YouTube live streaming, using YouTube as a platform. Using it in a way that we could do our podcast live. We could at least do our podcast in video form. My goal going forward on this channel is to have every podcast be video and audio. Outside of the ones that have been recorded already, those will still go out as scheduled. So we have 2 more coaches corners on Fridays. When those end, what we'll be doing is basically having like a season. That'll be the first season. That'll be the first collection of coaches corners, and then we'll work on getting some more done for the future. And that'll be the second season. We'll try to revamp it a little bit, try to put some more touches on it, so we can go forward in a different direction with Coach's Corner, keep it growing, keep it getting better, have the video incorporated. So every podcast, whether it's the happy hour, whether it's the Coach's Corner, will be put on audio and video. The audio platforms you'll still be seeing on your Spotify's, your iTunes, your whatever you get your podcast. We're on 10 different channels. Video will be put up on YouTube. Try to get it up on social medias too. So both will be accessible to keep growing the product. So that's the biggest goal we're doing right now. This should be one of the last podcasts or last live streams or last videos that I do here. So I have something that I'm working on with like a small little setup. So it's going to look more like a studio, more, better visually. That'll be within the next couple podcasts. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so everything's video, audio now. We're going to try to do some podcasts every now and then go live stream with them. I think that's a cool touch. I think it's good to be interactive. Yeah, so we're excited about that. We're excited about all the things that are coming. Hoping that sports stories start to pop back up, makes it a little easier to talk about. If you listen to the Happy Hour podcast on Tuesday, we had some stuff to talk about, whether it was the sports coming back, NFL, Drew Brees, that kind of stuff. We had stuff to talk about. We also put in a few of our new things that we're doing, different ideas like the weird sport of the week, the worst take of the week, stuff like that, just to give it segments in it. And yeah, we're going to try our vlogs that we do, vlogs, quote unquote. I don't really think I vlog. I call it a vlog, but a vlog is like you're following yourself around during the day. That's not what I'm doing. But I'm going to call it a vlog for YouTube's sake, and these are fun to do. So I'll try to do these vlogs live for the most part. It's just easier. I don't like to cut stuff out of my videos unless it's like needed, unless it's like sound quality issues or video quality issues. I'd rather just leave everything up and let it be just fully pure, because that's what it's about. It's not about making yourself look better for something you said and you didn't want to say. That's not what I do. And as always, if you're in the live chat, leave a like, leave a subscribe. Also ask questions. I will answer. This one, like I said, is going to be a short one. I just kind of wanted to brief you guys on what's been happening, what's going on. And yeah, so if you haven't seen yet, another thing I wanted to talk about was the merchandise. And if you saw my social medias, all the proceeds now for all the merchandise is going to the National Fragile X Association, directly to all the profits. That means that charity means something to me. That means something more than just the regular stuff. That my brother has Fragile X. So it was big to me to do something for that cause. And it was exciting to me to get something out there that I can really get, involved. And we're going to try to be more involved as a podcast with the National Fragile X Association. Whatever way we can, whatever way we can do things, we're going to try our best to get involved with them and keep that growing. Because that was a thing I enjoyed. So like I said, all the DSN merch right now is on the DSN store, which I believe, and it switches. So you're better off going to bonfire.com and searching DSN podcast or Daily Sports Network, and it'll come up. The link, I believe, it fluctuates. It's an issue I have with them, but I believe it's bonfire.com/DSN dash podcast dash one. That'll get you to the store. It'll get you to one of the stores, and then you can, re-navigate yourself back. But like I said, bonfire.com, search in DSN podcast. All the profits are going directly to the National Fragile X Association. So that's awesome. First line of merchandise just got sent out, or it's getting sent out this week. So that's awesome. Everything's working right now. And yeah, stuff you missed this week. That's what I want to do too with these vlogs, and maybe on Saturday mornings or Friday nights, or just get a recap to the week of what we did on the podcast, what we did on the show. Stuff you missed this week. Yesterday was the Coach's Corner with Dom Guglielmo. He is from Keystone College. He's the offensive line coach and the recruiting coordinator over there. So we got him involved this week, and it was a really cool interview. If you have a chance, go listen to it. Also, being transparent. When I do these live streams, I tend to look down, as you see, because I'm watching myself rather than looking at the camera, which is right there. But it's awkward to look there. I don't know. I do have trouble figuring out how to do these live streams in the correct way. But if I'm looking here, I'm just looking at you. We'll just go with that. I'm looking straight at you. But yeah, so we had him yesterday on the podcast. Did really well. He was awesome. And then Tuesday was the Happy Hour podcast. That came out Tuesday. That was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good for the first one. And yeah, so going forward, next Friday we have, I believe, I should probably look it up before I say something and I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure in 2 weeks we have Coach Matt Rogers on the Coach's Corner scheduled. Let me double check that before I say something, and then I'm wrong, and then you're waiting for it, and then it just looks bad. So let's just make sure. Here we go. This Friday coming up is Coach Riley Hill, who's at the University of Wisconsin Whitewater. And then the following Friday, the 26th, is Coach Matt Rogers from SUNY Morrisville, where he's in his first year there. Those always come out at 12 noon on Fridays. And like we said before, after those two, we're kind of going to have a small season break. Maybe not even a break. I may just go forward the next Friday, but we're going to separate it by season. It's going to have a new kind of feel to it, a new identity, hopefully. We've done now, that will be after those two, 7 or 8 of them that I liked and I'm putting out. I believe it's 7 or 8. So that'll be the first kind of season. We got our feet wet. We got what we felt like we figured out what we wanted to do with the podcast and how we wanted to go forward with it. But now there's kinks we can work out. So when I record the new set of them, because that's still the first batch, when I record the new set of them, I'll be more comfortable. I want it to feel less. As much as these have been good and people have enjoyed it and people have been buying the merch from it, which is on the website, the Coach's Corner merch logo is pretty cool. Made it myself. Not a big deal. Not a brag. But yeah, so Coach Corner's been awesome, but I do need to put some touches on it. I need to make it a little more refined. I want it to be less like an interview. I don't want to be like, oh, you answered question. Oh, you answered question. Well, that's what is easy enough to be done. I want to make it a conversation. I want to be more involved. We are working on getting a second person in there with me, a guy who is a coach, so it gives you different aspects on when I'm asking questions. Maybe there's more questions that are more in depth than I know that he can ask. So that's something we're trying to figure out here. I'm pretty excited about. But yeah, so Coach's Corner is going to get revamped. Happy Hour podcast, we're working on that every week. And also, meant to say, we're going to be getting some new tools. You see, I have new headphones, which will help with the feedback of the podcast. And I'm working on getting some stuff for my studio that'll get just everything sound better, everything look better. I'm already noticing that from YouTube Live, the video quality on YouTube Live is much, much better than Zoom, which I have been using. But I'll try to record everything through YouTube if it's feasible, and if it works out that way, I'll use YouTube as my video because the quality is much better. I think the audio quality might be better too. Uh, Afterwards, leave in the comments. Afterwards, just let me know how the video and audio quality sounded, or sounded and looked, I should say. I could see the video, and I know the video is clear and it's crisp. I feel, but the audio I can't tell. I guess I can listen to it after too. But I think the feedback on the headphones helps. So yeah, so Coach's Corner revamped. Happy Hour podcast is going well. Merchandise is out. 2 more Coach's Corners coming out. Then we'll reset kind of the feeling of it. And I have a couple new guys I want to get involved. Maybe some guys that have already recorded with us. And I also for the Coach's Corner, and I want your guys' feedback. I want you guys to let me know how you feel I'm doing with it. What could be better. Something else I wanted to work on was getting multiple coaches in at a time, making it more of like a round table, and just changing the feel week to week. Not making it like, oh, another interview with other guys and ask the same questions. I want to be all over the place. I want to be different. And that's the goal right now with the Coach's Corner. I haven't decided yet. And again, feedback is much, much needed when it comes to this stuff. When the Happy Hour podcast, if you listen to it on Tuesday, which did pretty well, but if you listen to it, let me know. I'm going back and forth on adding a co-host with me for it, which is something that I've wanted to do and I really like. But then I've also went back and forth with the idea of just doing it solo and having guests. I need to know where you guys feel with that. If you like a co-host, if you like it solo. I like the idea of it being solo. I've watched a few solo podcasts that I thoroughly enjoy. So I like that idea with guests here and there to mix it up. But I don't know for sure. I need to know from you guys. I need to feel it out better. I'm gonna probably do the next 1 or 2 solo, see where we're at, figure out what's going next. 'Cause everything right now, we're new. We're new. I think the podcast I put out yesterday was the 14th podcast we've done. I very well could be wrong there. And again, I'm going to look it up because I don't like to give out misinformation. And then you come to me and you're like, no, it was the 15th. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Oh no. So good thing I didn't keep it as the 14th because the person that went, no, it was the 15th would have been right. It was the 15th. So cool. So it was the 15th. So by the end of next week, we'll have 17, 2 a week. So we're still refining ourselves. We're still figuring out what's the best course of action for this podcast and what we can do better, what gives us a better feel. And yeah, we're just hoping to grow. I have people who I talk to on the daily when I send them out and get immediate feedback, but I want a feedback from everybody that's enjoying it. I know there's X amount of people that listen to every podcast because I see the views on it. I see not who, obviously, but the numbers are so similar that I know I'm getting a similar audience. My goal is to push this out in a different direction. My goal is to get this podcast shared on a different level where if you're watching, you're enjoying it, share it. Now I just got your audience and their audience to their audience. And just growing is the biggest thing we can do because I really, really feel comfortable doing this and I really am enjoying this. And we're 15 episodes in now between the Coach's Corner and everything else. And it's funny, some of the earlier episodes, I feel like I did better talking to people who I felt more comfortable with. And then it's like the Coach's Corner, as good as they were, I didn't listening back. And again, I don't like listening back to my stuff. I don't enjoy it, but I have to get better. And I listened back and it's like, I don't think I was as comfortable as I could have been. I don't think I was as forward as I could have been as I just feel like I was like a robot asking questions, and that's not what I want to do. That's not why I'm doing this. In the earlier podcast, whether it was the recaps for the NFL draft, they're still up on Anchor. The first Coach's Corner with Joe Gerbino, who I knew personally, made it easier. And then my Happy Hour podcast, I felt very fluid. I felt very comfortable. So, and this live stream, I feel comfortable. It's just about getting over that hump. Like I said, 15 episodes in, we still have a lot of work to do with this podcast, and I'm loving every step of the work, every step of it. And for those that may ask, and it's something that people ask me, so I want to be clear. Um, when you watch these live streams, my beard, it's not red. I don't know if you're thinking that at home and you're going, "Oh, is his beard red?" It's not red. It's the lighting. My fiance, my sisters, they'll tell you otherwise. They'll tell you that it is a red beard. I disagree. I think it is the lighting. So if you were thinking that at home, I just read your mind there. Not red. Don't worry. It's not red. That's all I'm going to put out there. Yeah. So what we've talked about today: Happy Hour podcast, Coach's Corner podcast, merchandise, which is going to the National Fragile X Association. Um, the new equipment we're getting, the new studio, headphones, the hat, always wearing the same hat. Beard, not red. That's probably one of the most important things I want to get out of this podcast, this vlog. The beard is not red. Not red. So I want to make sure that's clear. I may put that in the title, like I don't have a red beard. Vlog number 3. Pretty cool. Not red. So I just want to make sure that's clear. But yeah, merchandise, podcasts, vlogs are going to be coming hopefully live on the weekends if we can get them out to recap the week. Kind of. I want to use the vlogs more as recaps and stuff that comes before the podcast to get people ready, get the people amped for them. Not necessarily vlogs use it to talk about subjects unless there's a single subject that seems like it needs to be talked about and it's timely, like right away, where I can't wait for the next podcast. That's what we'll do. Oh, another thing I wanted to get feedback on. These are what these vlogs are for too, is getting feedback from you guys. Another thing I wanted to get feedback on was, do you guys prefer that the Coach's Corner stays separate from our regular weekly podcast? Because another thought I did was making our weekly podcast longer and having the podcast and talk about regular sports and then leading that into the interview. Leading that, or even on the Coach's Corner, having something before it and then leading it into an interview. Because some of the podcasts I watch and listen to do that kind of thing, where they do their podcast, lead it into an interview. So another thing I'm trying to work on. Most likely, I'm going to keep it separate as of now. But if there's enough feedback on it, I'm always open, always listening, always. That's one thing I'm doing right now. I'm trying to watch every single podcast I can, because when I see something I laugh at or enjoy, let's put that in the let's incorporate that into what we're doing. Why are they doing it and getting success when what can I do to get more successful? What can I do to get more reach? Speaking of reach, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. I am working on getting a Snapchat and uh, Pinterest, everything. TikTok. TikTok is one that I'm trying to get into. Just because I'm not going to be putting out great TikTok. I'm not going to be dancing like people do. I'm not going to dance around to music. That's not why I'm doing it. But I'll put little clips from the podcast up. And TikTok's a weird way to reach. I watch some podcasts where guys say, like guys who are like lower level stand up comedians or something, and they'll put their old sets up, and it gets like 800,000 views if you tag it the right way. So another way to reach people by putting my stuff up there. And I realized before I said Pinterest. We're not going to be on Pinterest. That I don't know why I said that. I say things sometimes, and then I like 5 seconds later go like, "Why did I just say we're going to be on Pinterest? We're not. We're not going to be on Pinterest unless like if you can come in like my comments and say Pinterest is the way to go. There's a Pinterest is for podcasts. Like that is it. That's the new thing. We'll have a discussion. Until then, we are gonna stay away from Pinterest. I don't think that was a place we would want to put it. Snapchat, yeah. TikTok, yeah. Those are cool. I don't think Pinterest will be our home. I don't see that as a foreseeable future. But yeah, so scratch Pinterest. That's another thing. Beard is not red. Pinterest is not going to happen. But TikTok, Snapchat will happen. that's something we'll do. Snapchat, I'll try to get involved in that. I don't know how good that's going to be for the Daily Sports Network, but we'll try it. We'll try all the avenues. Listen, if you're a media anything in 2020, whether it's a podcast, whether you're an aspiring rapper. I don't know why that was the second thing that came to my mind, but a singer, anything you do social media wise. If you're not on every single platform, at least to see what happens from it, you're doing it wrong. Just be on everything. That's the best way to grow. I really can't believe I said aspiring rapper a second. Like that, like I went podcast, which is pretty popular, and then I went aspiring rapper. Like not like a singer or not like someone trying to be like on social media as an influencer or just having a regular social media platform, a rapper, aspiring rapper. So if you're an aspiring rapper, keep it up. We're rooting for you. Because apparently that was the second thing that comes to my mind when I think of media, which is very, very interesting to think about. Yeah, so this was an interesting vlog. We covered the beard, not red. We covered that I believe that the second biggest thing in media is an aspiring rapper. We covered that. We covered that I thought in my head when I thought of big social media platforms, I thought of Pinterest, which again, not gonna be a thing. So we covered that. No Pinterest. And then we covered the more serious things. But I feel like the Pinterest, the beard, and the aspiring rapper is what we're gonna take out of this. I feel like those are the most popular things. I'll probably tag Pinterest and aspiring rappers just to get them going a little bit. Um, Now watch, I'm just gonna get reached out to by aspiring rappers like, yo, listen to my mixtape. And I'm gonna have to listen to it because I made a whole thing about it. It's in my title. Like I'm gonna be the guy that listens to mixtapes now, and I don't want to be doing that. So if you're an aspiring rapper and you're listening to this and um, you think that I care about you, I do. I care about you. I care about your dreams. But don't send me your mixtape, please. I don't want to listen. I don't want to listen to your mixtape. I really don't. But if you send it, I'll feel I'm too nice of a person that I'll probably be obligated to listen to your mixtape. So if you could just not send your mixtape, that'd be cool. Um, yeah, so that's a good spot to end this. Uh, I know the feedback I'm gonna get on that part, but that's me. That's me. Um, yeah. So this was cool. Um, any comments, concerns? Oh, what? They have makeup on with this live stream sometimes, and it's like I don't wear makeup, but it looks. I don't know. Interesting. See right there. You see that? That's not red, but now it looks red. It's just like what? But yeah. Aspiring rappers, send me your mixtape. I'm out.